Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about training for over-the-board chess using your computer. One thing you can do when you play slow games online, you can set up a physical board and practice as if it's an over-the-board tournament. Now, I've been thinking about this quite a bit lately. The problem I have with playing slow classical games on the internet is it's too big of a time commitment and it's just too hard to sit at the computer for a few hours straight if you're used to sitting at the computer anyways for your job. So one thing that I've started practicing with a little bit, and so far I've been enjoying it, is I'll log into chess.com and I'll play against one of the bots. Typically I like to play the bots that are kind of in the 2700 range, and that's because the ratings I find are sort of based on like a blitz level of play, and if you're going to spend a lot of time, don't look too much into what the ELO rating says for the bots because you'll just want to find a bot level that works for you. So you have to experiment a little bit. Now, for example, I have a tournament coming up that's a 60-minute tournament with a 30-second increment. This is how I would practice for that time control. Take your clock, set it for 60 plus 30. So get it all set up exactly how you want it. And then pretend that your opponent is going to be spending the time, but you're going to play against a bot that will play instantly. So here's what I would do. Get my score sheet out, get my pen, find a blank sheet. Now pretend you're playing an over-the-board tournament, right? So you're going to start the clock, start your opponent's clock in this case because I'm black. Let the computer make a move. Let's say the computer plays e4. Now hit the clock as if it was your opponent, write down e4, and then start thinking about your move. You make a reply c6, hit the clock, write it down. Now this is what you can do to make the computer think a little bit more. In the opening, you're going to probably just want the computer to play right away, so you just punch in c6. But say you get a little bit down the line, your position gets a little bit more complex. Let's just say here, takes, here, takes. Maybe they throw some kind of strange move at you. Now you need to think a little bit. When I make my move back, I'm going to want my opponent to think a little bit, so I'll play the move, hit the clock, write it down. Instead of immediately putting it into the computer, because the computer's going to instantly fire back a move, you could simulate having your opponent think for a little bit. So maybe I just want to sit here and think about, okay, well, what is my opponent going to do after this last move that I just played? Now I can start to pretend it's a tournament scenario. What are the different candidate moves? Will they go knight f3? Will they offer me a bishop trade? Really start to think about it for a while as if your opponent is using their time. And then when you're ready for the opponent to move, if you forgot your move, you can check your score sheet. Punch in that last move, bishop to f5. Put it into the computer, then you see the computer's reply, hit the clock for them, write down their reply, start thinking on your own. One thing I really like about playing against the computer compared to playing humans is that against the computer you can take breaks. So say you want to train for a 2-hour game and you don't have 2 hours straight, but you have some segments of 30 minutes each. Play for 30 minutes, and then when you're done, just pause the clock. You could even turn it off, write down how much time is on it if you want to reset it to that time later. Pause the position, right? You can come back to it at a later time. That's the beauty about playing the computer. It's almost like a daily chess game, but you can force your opponent to move at any time you want. The downsides, I think, to playing the computer, obviously they don't play exactly like a human, but the chess.com bots are trained using the neural network, and they do play more like humans than just playing, for example, a weakened stockfish. I think the chess.com bots are based on Komodo Dragon, and it's trained on human play, or at least on playing against itself. So the bots are better than they used to be, and this is just one training technique you can use to efficiently practice your over-the-board classical chess. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.